Hey folks, welcome back to another Poemaster video, and today we're going to do something fun and interesting, right? It's, well, I don't know if it's interesting, but it's definitely fun. It's definitely fun. So, what we're going to do is we're going to look at all the units in the game at the moment, right, as a collective, and see which region has the more powerful units and which one needs a bit more help, because let's be real, there's a few regions out there that really need some help that would really appreciate a big surge of unit or of good quality units in that region, right? For example, Alola was in a really bad place, right? A while ago, right? They were down pretty bad, but the recent months actually gave Alola a pretty good boost, right? Pretty solid boost. With the they had like basically an Alola month, right? And then now there's like Anniversary Lily, which who's great as well, right? So hopefully, for those regions that are slightly lacking at the moment, could have some better units in the future. And for the units that already are a bit too over the top, maybe chill a bit on those regions, right? So, anyways, let's get to it then. So, here are the regions, and I don't have Passio in here because, first of all, Passio only has like 3 units. Second of all, Passio doesn't have like a region theme skill. Plus, Passio is not on this tier list because I didn't make it; someone else made it. So, anyways. Let's do this, I guess. Starting from, should we start from the top or bottom? I guess we'll start from the top. I think it's a bit better. Start from the top, obviously Hoenn, right? Hoenn has, like, oh my god, right? Like last year Hoenn was kind of just whatever. This year Hoenn improved vastly. You have the number 1 and number 2 unit of the game. You have Archie's number 1 unit of the game, Maxie's number 2 unit of the game. I do not see how the region with a number 1, number 2 unit in the whole game can be anything lower than top tier, right? Plus, it's not like Hoenn falls off a cliff after that. Hoenn still has some very strong entries after that, right? May, that's a easily top 10 unit in the game, right? Maybe even you could argue top 5. What else? Also, Maybun, also very powerful. You got this Steven, even though we meme on him a lot, he is still incredibly powerful as a unit, right? The Rayquaza Steven. And then you have Brandon, who's a very powerful striker, right? Brandon and Wally, these two are like, for spotlight strikers, these two are incredible spotlight strikers, right? They're still, very close to top tier units. And then Phoebe's a pretty solid support. And then, the other 2 Stevens are still good too, right? The other 2 Stevens are good. Winona has Rain, right? The 2 Zinnias are very good. Wallace is fine, right? Alicia's okay. Yeah, and then Sydney's not terrible either, right? So yeah, you have Hoenn's a very top heavy region, right? Because literally you have these 2, the number 1, number 2 unit of the game. And then, but it's not like it just completely falls off a cliff after the top, right? Again, there's very good units in the Steven, this May, right? This other May, there's just so much power all around, right? So yeah, that's Hoenn. Moving on to next one, I think we'll have Unova in here. Also, these I can't remember what I was gonna say, but yeah, Unova is the other one. Like, Unova wins on sheer numbers, right? Look at how many Unova units are in the game. We really sort of need to chill on more new Unova units. They have so many sync pairs in the game, and they're fantastic. Their overall quality is fantastic. They don't, unlike Hoenn, they don't have like that like absolute unit, right? But like there's a ton of still top tier units, right? You got Ingo and Emmett, who are fantastic and probably the best Unova unit, right? Again, like their best unit isn't like whatever, but like still very good, right? In terms of N, the other N's still very good as well. Alder's incredible. Bianca's probably the next best unit over here, right? You got Berg, who's great. This Skyla is not that bad, right? This Skyla, everyone knows, is pretty good as well, right? Rosanta's fine. Champion Iris is good, right? Both Hilberts are very, very good. This Grimsley's not bad. This Hilda's, you know, EX is not bad either, right? Singsu Lisa's good. Regular Lisa, again, if EX is also really, really nice. I mean, okay, these guys aren't that, you know. But overall, the power of Unova, strength in numbers. Basically, they just have numbers. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, which is fair. I mean, they have what, 4 games, right? But yeah, there's a ton of these guys, right? I forgot Getsus too, right? Getsus also here. Regular Berg's not that bad either. Right? I mean, they do have some really, really low quality units, unfortunately. I mean, you have like regular Grimsleys here, unfortunately, like some of these guys up here. You know, Nate, like their bottom is definitely, you know, not the best. Of all the regions, might be, you know, very low. But again, the just sheer quantity of quality, either top tier or just very, very, very good units. Like just look at how many top, like Ingo's top tier, Emmett's top tier, this End's top tier, Bianca's top tier, right? Berg's top tier. That's what, 5? Pilbert, that's another one, right? They're like 6, 7 top tier units. They just strengthen numbers, right? Strengthen numbers. So it's kind of like, you know, if you want to, you know, debate these two, which again, we're not debating, like they're I'm not like ordering them within tiers, but like if you do want to do that, it's kind of like, you know, this one team is like, to use a, I guess, basketball analogy, like this one team has like prime LeBron James and like MJ, and then the other team has like a whole team of, you know, very solid starters, right? And then again, the other team is like LeBron, MJ, and then or not starters up, a team of all stars, and then the other team is like LeBron, MJ, and again, it's not like it fall off a cliff afterwards. Still a pretty solid team of starters. As a Raptors fan, I've felt this a lot of times before, right? Like, even though our team was better than the other team, right? The other team had LeBron, and we lose every single time. We lost how many years in a row? Like, we had the better team. We had the better team, but they just had that one guy, unfortunately. But I'm not salty about it anymore because, like, we won another one. So, well, not another. We won a championship, you know, after that. But yeah, it's water in the bridge. But yeah, these are definitely the top regions in the game at the moment. I think by quite a bit, right? By quite a bit. That's why, again, they're in the same tier. All right, again, so where I'm not comparing them side by side within tiers, but. Moving on. Next here, we could look at. Let's see. I'm thinking Galar. Here's the thing with Galar. A lot of people always complain about, oh, we have too many Galar units. Stop giving us Galar units. That's not very true, because Galar actually has the least units of all the regions. They just don't have that many units, and like of the units, it's just like, you know. You have like Marnie twice, Leon twice, Gloria's there twice. Galar actually does not have that many units, right? So like, please stop telling them to not give us Galar. We need more, right? But like, if you look at Galar, if you wanted to like rate this on a percentage of very, very good units, or as a percentage, you know, of the amount of units this region has in a whole, Galar's number 1, right? They have a very, very high concentration of good units. Like, where are the bad units? Every single one is at least, you know, good, right? Every single one's at least good. Like, the worst is like either, what, Piers or Gloria, and they're both still good units, right? Like, after like Piers and Gloria, what do you have? Summer Gloria is fantastic. Leon's, you know, one of the top 5, top 10 units in the game, or at least damage dealers. Singsu Leon, right? Among, you know, top whatever 2, 3 dragon dealers in the game, right? Marnie's a top 5 unit of the game, probably 10, and then Summer Marnie's you know, still fantastic as well. Raihan's incredible, Nessa's incredible, right? B's the best fighting type striker, Hop's an incredible support, right? Like, literally, there's no bad units. There's no bad units in Galar. Every single one of them is good. Like, they have the highest like percentage of very, very, very good units. Their downside is the opposite of Unova, where they, you know, Unova has like a lot of like fodder in there, like not that great stuff in there, but Unova just has a lot of units, a lot of them, right? A Galar, on the other hand, doesn't have that many, but every one of them are like elite. Okay, I wouldn't say elite, but like at least good, right? Just a very, very high concentration of very, very good units. So that's Galar. Next I'm going to talk about also in the same tier, probably Kanto, right? Kanto is still very, very good, right? Like Kanto has a bit of everything, right? Kanto has a bit of everything. Like Kanto doesn't have any like the like absolute, you know, top 5 units in the game or whatever, but like they have a lot of very, very top tier units, right? You got Singsu Red over here, you got Sabrina, you got Singsu Leaf, what else? Singsu Blue, right? There's the three Singsu Kanto trio plus Sabrina, plus Giovanni, that's another one, right? That's another one. Lance is still very, very good. All right, both Lances are fine. Koga is a really, really nice tech. BP Surge is fantastic, right? Professor Oak's still really good. Regular Leaf's not bad, right? And what else? Both Ericas are fine. This Brock's fine. This Blue's not bad. Blaine's still, you know, very, very much usable. So they have just everything. They have good damage healers like Red. They got good supports like, you know, Sabrina, but Singsu Blue. They got good healers like, you know, Singsu Leaf, regular Leaf, right? You got, you know, solid tech units like Koga, the Ericas, right? Also the third Erica, fantastic tank as well, right? So they got a bit of everything, right? They all really, you know, overall, you know, above average units, right? Definitely above average units. There's also not that many like not great ones. I mean, like, okay, Lorelai's not that great. Lieutenant Sur's not that great. I guess Jesse's and James are kind of mediocre, but they're not like terrible either, right? Bruno's not like incredible, but like, okay, Singsu Brock's not that great either, but you know, all the overall quality of units very, very high, right? Brock's another great unit that I think people overlook quite a bit. So yeah, Kanto, Galar all pretty strong as well. Moving on, I'd say Kalos in terms of next tier. Kalos is in a bit of a weird spot right now. They have good units, right? They definitely have good units. Diantha, fantastic unit, right? Sycamore, oh my god, right? Diantha and Sycamore, fantastic units. Both Serenas, very, very good. Lysander's also not, you know, also pretty good as well, right? But yeah, they have some really, really good units, but the amount of very, very good units is slightly limited, I'd say, for Kalos in comparison to something like a, you know, Kanto or Unova or whatever, right? But they are still really good. They also don't exactly have the top rush. They have the most, you know, broken mechanic in the game, which is Serena's AoE sleep, but right now the meta doesn't really favor that much. Like, you could still, you know, you can still beat most things with it, you know, without breaking much of a sweat, but it just takes longer, right? And Palatine Serena's, you know, kind of the opposite of that. Very, very fast to set up Sync Nuke, incredibly powerful Sync Nuke. Lysander has a good kit. The meta doesn't fit him that much at the moment. He's kind of like regular Steven in that case. Evelyn's not that great, unfortunately. I see a lot of people hyping Evelyn up. I don't think people have thought her buffs through that much yet. It's in reality not as good as people think it is, unfortunately. Plus no one could get Evelyn at the moment, so right. I'll call Clement's not bad either. Viola's not bad. Christmas Seabull's not bad. Ramos is okay. Karina's is okay. Caleb is fine, right? Yeah, just there's just a bit of a drop off, right? After like Diantha, Sycamore, the Serenas, and maybe Lysander, after that there's just a bit, you know, quite a bit of a drop off onto like the other units. Maybe you want to put Christmas Seabold in there as well, but yeah, there's definitely a sizable drop off. But again, still very, very good region overall. The next one I'd say is the one that we mentioned earlier, which is Alola over here. Alola, would have been one of the worst if not for this huge shot of energy that we've gotten recently, right? So Alola, obviously you have Anniversary Lily, which is, you know, by far, I don't know if it's by far the best Alola unit, but it's definitely up there in contention for the best Alola unit, right? The only other one I'd say is probably Kiawe, which, speaking of Kiawe, right? Kiawe is very good. Hala's the best, you know, ice type damage dealer at the moment, right? In the game, Master Royale, incredible sync nuke, great buff for your whole team. Mallow's great sync nuker as well, so decent, you know, decently solid damage dealer. Kui's a great, you know, tech unit. Olivia has good team comps now, right? Both these lilies are still solid supports. A bit niche, right? You have to find their places, but you know, in the certain comps they do very well. Outside of that, I guess they don't have that much great units. Like Celine and Ellie are okay, Alana's fine, Guzma Plumeria are okay, Luzamine's not bad, right? What else? Gladian's okay, Ace Royal's okay, this one's not okay, Holo's not bad, Nano's not bad, right? But yeah, I'd say they have a higher floor. Like they're like worst. They don't have that many incredibly bad units, but they also don't have that high of a ceiling either. Like their best units aren't like exactly amazing. I'd say Kalos overall has more like higher, you know, tier units up there in comparison to Alola. But they also don't have like that much, I guess, slightly lower tier units as say like Kalos, right? Like what's the worst unit in Alola over here? Let's see, Kahili, right? Between Kahili or Mina, I'd say Mina has a bit more use than Kahili, but it's probably Kahili, right? And then after that, it's like Kahili, Mina, maybe Hapu, and then like what's the worst one after that? Okay, Sophocles not that great either. You know, the worst one after is what, Mullane? And he's not like terrible. He's probably one of the slightly better gridless strikers. And after that, it's like Halloween Acerola, who's, you know, we meme on because she's not that great of a unit, but like, I mean, she's still better than like a lot of other things that you see in other like Grant or whatever in like Kalos. So yeah, overall, I'd say like the more top tier units, I do think there's more on Kalos. Right, there's like, again, Diantha, Sycamore, the Serenas, and then over here it's maybe just more so, I guess, just like Lily and Kiawe, I guess, are top tier, right? Again, they have some very good high tier units, like again Hala, Master Royale, but like, you know, for like top tier, they don't have like that much, right? But yeah, I'd say these two regions are still really good, you know, pretty good as well. Unfortunately, the last two are these, right? These two are just sad. These two are not very pretty to look at. I'm not saying the regions. I think Johto's probably one of the most prettiest regions overall. Sinnoh's great as well, obviously. Sinnoh is just not doing very well. Sinnoh's down pretty bad. If you look at Sinnoh's best units, you have Donberry, who's great, right? Cyrus, who's fantastic, right? Probably their only top tier unit at the moment, yeah. Volkner's great. And then you're going to like some weird territory, right? And then it's probably like Cynthia's fine. Cynthia's fine, right? Regular Dawn's not bad. And then everything else is Barry is fine. He's just like way too down on the like water type totem pole, right? Also, he's slightly overrated. Ken is not good. I mean, okay, she's the only like, you know, hail user, but like, I guess not like Eggmon hail user. Cheryl is, she's okay, right? For like a gridless support. Crash Awake's not cutting it. Fantina's not cutting it, right? I mean, like, I don't mean it like, I don't mean like Fantina's like as bad as Crasher Wake. Obviously, Fantina's much better than Crasher Wake. But, you know, for her caliber of a unit, right? Flint's also not doing so well. Guardian is pretty good. Gridless damage dealer, though. Marley's not great. Mayleen's actually not bad. Rourke's just bad. Thornton's not great, right? It's just they're like, okay, it's like Dawn, Cyrus, Volkner, the Dawns, the Cynthias, Volkner, Cyrus, and then it's just huge drop off, right? You could maybe even argue like after like these three, there's like a huge drop off. Again, if you want to include the other Dawn plus like the Cynthias, that's fine too. But then after that, it's like the overall like quality of like the, I guess, the lower tier units. Not very good. Not very good. All right. Speaking of down bad, as well, Johto. Here's the thing. At least Sinnoh has some hope. Because with upcoming, you know, BDSP releasing, maybe we'll get a big Sinnoh push. We get some really good Sinnoh units. That's at least what I'm hoping. That'll be very nice. Johto's in a bit of a pickle because a lot of very good Jotonian units are Kanto. They just got thrown into Kanto. The Lances are Kanto, right? Even though, you know, Koga, you know, this the guy's the Elite Four of the Johto games. He's technically Kantonian, right? And his whole family is his daughter. Yeah, and they're down pretty bad in terms of their units, right? They are pretty down bad. If you look at it, what are the great Johto units? Lyra, obviously, right? Bugsy, BP Bugsy, not regular Bugsy. Lyra, BP Bugsy, Falkner, and then Silver. After that, falls off a cliff, right? Falls off an absolute cliff. Like, wow, right? There are like some decent units. I think the worst units in Johto aren't as bad as the Sinnoh ones, right? Yeah, but they're still down pretty bad. Like after that, it's like Lyra Puff's not that great. Price is not incredible, right? Will's not incredible. Ethan's not incredible. Jasmine's not incredible. Morty's not incredible. BP Morty's not bad, but also not very meta right now. Chris is not incredible, right? Incredibly down in the water type totem pole. Claire's not great. Yeah, the Karens are nice, I guess, right? The Karens are not bad. But again, you know, just after the three big Johto supports plus like plus like Silver, yeah, you're just not going into like any great territory. Again, these units are good, all right? Some of these units are pretty solid. Stuff like Jasmine, Summer Lyra, the Karens, they're just not like, I mean, you can't exactly compare them to stuff like, you know, like the mediocre, the middle of the pack Johto units, right? You can't really compare them to like the middle of the pack units in, like, for example, like Unova or like Hoenn. Like, you're not comparing Karen to like May or like Zekrom. Okay. Like, that's what their, you know, next tier of units looks like, right? And then this next tier of units like Karen, right? Unfortunately. Yeah, I love Johto. I hope Johto does get a bit more love in the future. As to how, I mean, they are kind of running out of characters. They're still like using Chuck, right? There's still hope. There's still hope. Maybe they'll give the rocket admins to Johto, although I'm not sure about that. Kanto might seal them as well, even though they were in the Johto games, but Kanto might seal them as well, unfortunately. I think the way forward for Johto is just alts. You have to go for alts, right? Like you know, Sing Suit Ethan in the future, Ethan Lyra Chris, or like some alt of Silver. Bring in some like heavy hitters. Like if we like get like some Lugia in here, using Suicune. That's not alt, but you know. Yeah. there's still hope for Johto, but I'd say there's definitely a bit more hope for Sinnoh than Johto at this moment, because again, we might just get a big Sinnoh push for the once BDSP drops, but who knows? Hopefully they'll pick up Johto a bit. But yeah, these two are definitely down pretty bad right now, unfortunately. And yeah, they could probably chill on some Hoenn and Unova drops. I think we're pretty good on Hoenn and Unova right now. So anyways, that's for this one, I guess. I hope y'all enjoyed. Guys, say in the comments down below. Like, enjoy this video, start our channel for some more Pokemon content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.